What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Dave Cave Dave review. I'm Dave, coming at you from the Dave Cave, and tonight we are having a look at the DC Multiverse Hawkman. It's a McFarlane Collector Edition action figure. This guy's a McFarlane Platinum Edition, which means he is here in his classic colors and not the 0 hour colors that you can see right there on the trading card. Really excited to unbox this, guys. Let's have a look at the box there. Let's spin it around. McFarlane Collector Edition Hawkman 0 hour number 5. That means he's the 5th McFarlane Collector Edition. Do not ask me to recall what the other 4 were. My memory ain't what it used to be, but I probably have them all. You might be able to catch the silver highlights there. We've got this highlighted in silver there, and the number 5 there as well as a nice little strip along the bottom and the side there. There's the back. We've got the key art there with the art from the 0 hour comic. In fact, I'm not sure if that is the art from the 0 hour comic, but it's definitely Hawkman in the style of the 0 hour issue 0, or Hawkman issue 0. During the time of 0 hour in which Hawkman was wearing his darker colors there. Hawkman, as I like to call him, must have been going through a little emo phase because he was, he was wearing his darks, guys. He threw his whites out. He was going through a thing. He was going through a little phase, and he wanted to look all pensive and dark and emo. All right, so who can begrudge the guy from wearing his emotions on his sleeve, or on his trousers, should I say, because he doesn't have any bloody sleeves because he's rocking the bloody guns, mate. I tell you what. Anyway, there's the other side. There's the front again. There's the top. There's the bottom. And kadoosh, guys. Let's crack this guy open. We're going to put all of his accessories out on the table, take a look at his articulation, and, going to have a nice little 5-minute segment where I just take a look at this lovely flight stand that we get for the trading card there. Yep, that's right. I said flight stand that we get for the trading card there. Do we get a flight stand for the action figure there? No, sadly we do not, guys. We just get a normal stand. Don't know why they're doing this to us. I don't know, guys. I do not know. Do I have any shelf space for trading cards? No, I do not. They go in a binder where I flip through them sometimes, and it gives me a nice little warm feeling in my heart. But that's about it. I'm not displaying my trading cards on the bloody shelf because an action figure could go there. Obviously, things are quite densely populated on my shelves over here. Do not have room for bloody trading cards. So, we'll have a little laugh about that. We'll have a giggle, but we're going to get straight into it, guys. So just kick back, get comfy, get your Thanagarian nth metal weapons on the ready because it's going down. Peace. Alrighty, guys, we are back. We've got Hawkman unboxed and ready for us to pick apart. So let's have a look at the accessories first, then we'll do some articulation. Let's get this out of the way right here. Let's put the trading card down. I mean, honestly, guys, do I need to say anything about it at this point? Flight stand for the trading card, but not the action figure. Come on, guys, come on. Let's put that down over there. Let's do the stand next. Front, back, silver to say it's a collector's edition. Lovely stuff. Love those stands. And our trading card. Love the silver highlight indicating that it is a collector's edition card, which is really cool. Love the silver highlights on the back. Kind of gives the vibe of, the Fleer Ultra trading card from back in the day, back in the 90s. As opposed to the Skybox or the tops, the Fleer Ultra were always had the little gold or silver embossing. The artwork was a little, punchier. Had those nice expensive painters working on the art for those cards. So, giving me a bit of a Fleer Ultra vibe there. And now onto our figure. Let's have a look at our nth metal mace here. Looks good. I like the designs on the actual ball of the mace there around the spikes. But could have done with some paint for the straps on the hilt there. That would have been a nice touch. And then our figure itself. Lovely stuff here, guys. The detail is fantastic on this guy. The feathers look fantastic on the wings. Are these the same wings as the movie one? Just off the top of my head. I'll have a look at that in the comparisons later. But looks like it's been given a bit of a wash or a dry brush here to kind of bring out some of the texture there. Could have done with that on the helmet there because we've got some really nice detail on the feathering there. Nice soft plastic there so no one pokes their eyes out. And loving the paint. The contrast between the orange and the yellow and then the black and white of the eyes looks fantastic. He's got his long hair hanging down from the back there like a rock star. And then the yellow, the red, the black, the vivid green, all of this stuff, guys. Just really kind of beautiful paint job here. It's all super clean. Obviously, this is not the standard. This is the platinum. So this is supposed to be a different kind of scheme to the I think the sculpt is more for the 0 hour version. So I can tell that they're trying to get this classic paint job over the 0 hour sculpt there, much like, you know, Rebirth Superman with the painting the point on his boots debacle. But yeah, look, it's done really nicely though, regardless. He really is a gorgeous figure. So let's do articulation top to bottom. So his head is on a ball joint. It'll swivel 360 degrees. We don't get a lot of back from him. Not enough for a flying figure anyway, because you do want him being able to look up to reach some of those, you know, cooler flight poses. To really get him to look up, you're going to need to like pull his waist back all the way. But, you know, it might look a bit awkward. It might look okay depending on the angle. We do get a good amount of down, so you can, you know, pose him kind of looking down on a flight stand or something like that, or on the edge of a shelf, looking like a badass, looking down. Let's do the arms. T-pose without a problem there. We can get 360 degrees. We've got our bicep swivel. We've got our double jointed elbows, and then we've got our standard articulation at the wrist, rotation at the wrist, rotation at the hand, and then the joint in the middle can be configured so that you can get horizontal and vertical articulation on that hinge. So one little note about the butterflies, they seem a little bit loose, almost like the shoulders are too small maybe. I feel like maybe this guy needs to be a little bit of a broader boy. Like those shoulders almost seem too small for this buck. But yeah, that's fine. It still looks fantastic. Hey, what about the paint? They could have done with some paint on his chest there. I mean, come on guys, it's Hawkman without the emblematic chest hair. I mean, how good is he, guys? How good is he? No, he's pretty good, but, you know, some chest hair would have been nice. All right, let's keep going with the artic. Let's go at the midsection here. We do have 360 degrees, and as I said, we do get like a significant degree of back articulation there. That's almost like 90 degrees there. And do we get a good amount of forward? It's not so bad. It's not quite a crunch, but you know, we get some forward there. Let's do the wings. So they do rotate on the body there, but they also hinge out, which is nice. So you can get some of these poses where the wings kind of come further out from the body like that, but you can also pose them down like that to get more of a spread, make him look a little more ominous, take up a bit more shelf space on the shelf there. All right, let's do the waist. We've got 360 degrees in the waist. We've still got our little rubber overlay section with some pouches, a little loop here. Oh, that could be for his mace. Cool. If only we had another weapon that we could put in his hand. That might actually mean something. That would be awkward, having a mace strapped to your belt. Lol. Maybe it's not for that. Anyway, probably is. Standard McFarlane hip joint system. What is this? Like a, yeah, little kind of swivel and hinge joint in there. No thigh cut, sadly. So, you know, we're not going to get any Spidey poses out of this guy, but I will give Toddles a pass for that because it is Hawkman. I don't really need him web slinging through New York with his feet contorted into all kinds of weird poses. But, you know, seeing as it is Todd McFarlane that did invent those Spider-Man poses, surely he should give us some thigh cut there so we can really kind of get some awesome twisty poses out of this guy. But whatevs, it's all good. It's all good for today. give us thigh cut. Double at the knees, no boot cut, so we are not wearing a stylish pant from the early 2000s. We have our swivel at the ankle. We've got our standard hinge there, and we have our rockers in the ankle, and then on the feet we have our toe articulation. So really just, like a standard amount of, your bog standard McFarlane articulation. But, we've got these beautiful wings on top and a good amount of newness in the buck, and just a beautiful paint job as well. Just some great detail there as well. This mace fits nicely in his right hand, but right is the only hand that you're going to be able to go with, because we don't have another hand. We were not given another hand. So let's give this guy a nice little battle pose there. Let's do a nice little pose with him before we head on over to our lore section. We'll get this guy ready to attack and swing that mace out. There he is, guys. That's looking good. Oh, look at that. His bicep joint just popped out. There it is. Alrighty. Cool, looking good, guys. So here is Carter Hall about to attack some poor chump that thought he could test him. Lovely stuff. All right, we're going to get into some lore, and then we'll do some comparisons after that. We'll see you in a second, guys. Peace. Alrighty, guys, we're back to do some lore, and look, this is Hawkman issue 0, which was part of the 0 Hour event that happened in the mid-90s. 0 Hour itself was a mini-series that counted down from issue 4 to issue 0. It was a 5-issue series, and once the series reached its climax in issue 0, what actually happened was that line-wide across DC, all of their books had a 0 issue, kind of regardless of where their numbering was at. So I think this Hawkman series, technically this issue was like issue 13, and the subsequent issue went back to regular numbering. So it went issue 0, and then the following issue was 14. So essentially, why the regular version of this figure has these alternate clothes and not the classic coloring is that DC were trying something different. Essentially, they had found themselves in a scenario where Hawkman had some conflicting origin stories, some conflicting histories there. So he did have the history of the character Carter Hall, who had been reincarnated several times into the body of, into a new body, and then kind of rediscovered his identity as Hawkman in each new reincarnated version of himself. And he and Shiera Hall, or Hawkwoman or Hawkgirl, were kind of fated to meet each other in each of those lives and have a kind of tragic romance over and over and over again. And the other origin that DC gave him was the Thanagarian sleeper agent origin story, in which he and Shiera were sent to Earth in order to kind of infiltrate the Justice League. I think similar to the Justice League Unlimited arc of the animated series. So essentially what DC did here, much like what they did with Crisis on Infinite Earths, is they tried to consolidate some of these origins and make things a little simpler. And so what they did here was they merged both of those characters into one Hawk God. They erased his memory and they gave him some new duds. So basically the figure that everyone else will get, unless you get a Platinum, is going to be this kind of dark and navy decked out one with still with a gold mask there. But yeah, that is the version that Todd is doing. Gotta say, I really dig the boldness of kind of plucking this obscure Hawkman out of like the mid-90s continuity and then releasing him as an action figure in 2023. I really dig Multiverse for that reason. And I do kind of think that, maybe you should have flipped it around and the classic colors should have been the main version, and maybe the 0 hour version should have been the platinum variant. But hey, I'm not the one making the big decisions there. I'm loving what we got. And after reading this issue and playing around with the figure itself, I actually kind of have I'm kind of tempted to pick up the 0 hour version as well and kind of just have both on the shelf. But in this issue, Hawkman's a bit of a badass. He actually kills someone, and he's kind of dealing with some stuff there, with some head stuff. Anyway, that's enough lore. Just thought I'd give you guys some background on the version of the character that we're getting, and let's move on to some more plastic. Peace. Alrighty guys, back with some comparisons. Let's see if you can spot the theme here. Alrighty, so here we have Carter Hall standing next to the Blue Beetle movie, Blue Beetle. Okay, and here we have Hawkman from the Black Adam series. And as you can see, those wings are definitely not the same. This Hawkman's wings are way bigger. They have an extra point of articulation in that they rotate and they hinge. These ones only rotate. They are definitely not the same. These are feathered, whereas these have way less detail on them. And I do really like the textured painting on these a lot more than these ones. So confirmed, not the same. Okay, next up, we have the DC Multiverse Batwing. And here we have the Batman Who Laughs, the winged variant. And here he is standing next to the Wave 1 Hellbat. And next up, we have the Wave 1 Superman in Unchained Armor. Okay, next, we have the Man-Bat Megafig. And here we have New 52 Red Robin. Here we have the DC Direct Kingdom Come Batman. And standing next to him now is the DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series Man-Bat. And here he is with the DC Collectibles New 52 Swamp Thing. And finally, here he is next to New Genesis's Sweetheart. It's the DC Direct Jack Kirby's New Gods, Lightray. Alrighty, I'm back to give you guys my final verdict on this Hawkman. Essentially, guys, what we have here is a beautifully sculpted and a beautifully painted variant of the mainline collector's edition release. I'm pretty chuffed that we've gotten a classic colors version. I'm still puzzled as to why the 0 hour version was the mainline release, but that's what DC Multiverse does. I'm still digging the line because it does pick out these obscure versions of characters, these obscure costumes to give us from these characters' long and varied histories. So totally here for it, totally enjoying it. And as I said before, I actually think I might, when I get a chance to, when I'm a bit more flush with funds and I can afford to, I can justify a variant, I think I might actually spring for the regular 0 hour version of this Hawkman. So yeah, loving the wing articulation. The wings are so much better than any of the previous Hawkman figures that we've gotten, whether it's DC Direct or in the multiverse. I guess we've only got the movie Hawkman, and God, these wings are just far superior to the movie Hawkman's wings. And honestly, looking back at some of the other winged characters in our comparisons, these wings are just really nicely detailed and nicely articulated. It would have been nice to have an additional bit of articulation halfway down the wing, much like the Joker Who Laughs winged variant. But look, I'm really stoked with this Hawkman. I'm stoked with his wings. And, as I said earlier, a couple of hands would have been nice. Maybe an alternate weapon, like the sword gauntlet thing that he uses in the issue itself. That would have been nice. But look, I can't complain too hard when the figure itself is this good. All right, I think that's enough from me. I'm going to bust out of here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time and you're not subscribed, please hit me with a sub, hit me with a like, hit the notification bell if you want to hear more of me. My name's Dave, coming at you from the Dave Cave. Until the next one, guys, look after each other. I'll catch you then. Peace.